Okay, so we've got our main vessel here. We're going to just clean it up before we pull it off the wheel. So go ahead and sit back down, bring my chair in. Notice I have a couple of different tools here. And these are my sticks, and these are to help clean up the bottom of the bowl to give it a foot. I want to just check in and see if this is how I'd like it. Maybe I'd like to have a little more open. Sometimes you do that by just turning your head off to the side, looking and saying, well, do I want that a little bit bigger, a little more open? Let's just open it a little, just a bit more. So run my water in there, hands on both sides, slow the wheel a little bit, and then bring the bowl out a little bit, gently. Notice there's a little bit of a wobble. It's starting to get a little wobbly. Sometimes when clay is wet, it starts to wobble, it starts losing its shape. It's easier to throw it first, but then you have to be careful. This is my chamois. This is to help smooth the rim. I'm just going to go very slow. Press down. Look at how nice that makes that rim. No jagged edges. Take my sponge. I want to remove all the water on the inside. Just gently press. The reason why you don't want water sitting in there is that the pot will dry unevenly and you might get a crack on the inside. So I'm going to take my stick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press it along the bottom and remove the excess clay. And again, you have to be careful as you're doing this as to not poke the piece. Everything you do in pottery is just nice and easy. Now I'm going to kind of scoop away that excess clay. Just very carefully. I don't know if you can see that. There's the excess clay. Just stick that there. And take my sponge just to soften up where I just went along. So now the big question is how do I get this off the bat? Well, we're going to actually dry it on the bat. But we're going to take our wire, the same wire we used to cut the clay from the block. I'm going to just take this, hold on to this, hold on to this fairly tight. I'm going to use my thumbs against the wire, and I'm going to just drag this right along the bottom, nice and slow. Then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and do it again. So now it's going to stay on the bat to dry. And when it begins to dry, not all the way, but to a certain point, then we're going to flip it over and we're going to put it back on the wheel and trim it and really finish the piece itself. So you can see that's got a pretty nice shape to it. I'm just going to sit this somewhere and keep an eye on it and wait for it to dry when I can flip it over onto a fresh bat, and then we'll do our trimming. So that's it. That's pretty easy. And you notice it has a nice shape. Just one more step.